Mr. Carlos Velez from Colombia. Umpire 1, Ms. Rebecca Davila from Puerto Rico. Umpire 2, Mr. Michael Henry from the U.S. Virgin Islands. The commissioner for this game is Mr. Alvin Gloria from Puerto Rico. And now, presenting to you the starting fives of this first semifinal game, starting with Barbados, playing number 22, Ashley Daniel, playing number 24, Tamisha Fletz, number 19, Tawara Lord, number 27, Shakila Small, and playing number 18, Anicia Wu. The starting five for Cuba, number 9, Yamana Margo, number 15, Suchita Avila, number 11, Marlon Capella, number 23, Angelady Capito, and number 6, Miss David Martinez.
Good evening, basketball fans. Keone Wright and Gavin Kensmill getting set to call the first semifinal of the game here at the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup between Cuba and Barbados. Here's the jump ball between Cepeda and Small. Cuba has been dominant in this tournament. Barbados last night struggled a little bit, but earned a spot here by beating Suriname. And there's the first shot by Amargo. We're going to call her name a lot, probably. She hits a three-pointer. 3-0 is the early lead. Here's Flats for Barbados. Nice defense by Amargo. Two-way player. Gavin, how do you see this one going down? I think Barbados has a chance, but they really need to be on their game today.
I actually think they don't.
Can you agree with me just once? Just once.
No, I actually think Barbados doesn't stand a chance. Of course, every game is a winnable game. Like I told you, there are chances sometimes, but I don't see this game going in the favor of Barbados.
Barbados also, they had to play a really tough game yesterday against Suriname, so they may have some tired legs. For Cuba, completely different. They had an outstanding victory against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I believe they scored in upwards of 130 points, only gave up 31. But congratulations to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today they beat Suriname, claiming for 5th place in this tournament. Long three by Small. Barbados is in this one. 5-3 is your score early. Avila, that's no good. Tracked down by Flats, gives it to Daniel. She plays her college basketball right now at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Up to Flats. Cuba in a man-to-man defense. Ducks inside to Lord. Tower Lord gives to Small. Nice pass. Small thought she got bumped. Nice hustle. Back to Small. And converts. And so we could see Barbados take an early lead here. Very unexpected, Gavin.
And yesterday we talked about Smalls. Just remember, fans and people listening at home, nothing is done personal here. Our job here is to criticize people and tell things the way they are. And we think Smalls is a very good player, and we want to see that level of energy she has just brought to this team.
She is a very, very good player. She plays at Oklahoma State, and she showed you why there, converting the three-point play. And now Barbados up by 1 early in a game where they're probably supposed to get shellacked. But I don't buy it, Gavin. I think Barbados is going to hang tough.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get smacked. But I don't see this game going in their favor.
Danielle guarded by Martinez. Lord tries to set the screen up top. She rolls. They can't find her. Good job there by Amargo. We keep calling her name. Nice pass up to Martinez. Back to Amargo. No good. Out of bounds. Blue ball. Barbados ball, 7-6. Cuba with the lead. And just to clarify, there was some YouTube backlash for what we said about Small yesterday. And I just want everyone out there to know that it was 100% Gavin and not me. So now we can move on from that topic.
We all know that's not true.
Here's Martinez.
Great pass there.
Great pass, gives off to the trailing Avila.
I love the way she's playing. She's so poised. She always keeps her composure. She's so calm even when she sprints the lane. And she always has her eyes on open teammates.
One of those players where you can't read her facial expression. And one of those players who really doesn't play bad. She rarely has a bad moment, makes mistakes. No one's perfect, but she's close to it. 7:07 left to play here in the first quarter. Cuba versus Barbados. The winner of this moves on to tomorrow's championship game. The top 3 teams from this tournament, remember, move on to the Centro Basket Tournament, which will be held in Puerto Rico. Amargo to Martinez. She thinks about it. Nice zone here from Barbados. That's in and out for Galindo. Tower Lord tracks it down.
That's one name I think we'll call a lot today too. I believe Galindo is the best player this Cuban team has.
There's a lot of players to choose from, and she's definitely one of them. Nice spin move by Small. I thought she got hit, no call. Up to Martinez, thinks about it. Galindo, that's no good. Rebound to Small. Small very active to start this one. Phillips, guarded by Amargo, tries to go baseline. Good defense there. Over to Small, long three-pointer. That's good. Gavin, I think she heard us yesterday.
And that's what I want from her. Prove me wrong.
She has definitely proven us wrong here. 9-9, Barbados more than in this thing against Cuba. Let's remember, Cuba is ranked number 14 in the world. Take there by Galindo, no good. Cuba is ranked number 14 in the world according to FIBA. And they are a team with an extensive history in the Olympics. They are a team with an extensive history in the World Championships. So for Barbados to be in this one right now and to play with the energy they're playing with, it's very big. Gavin, how would you rank Barbados regionally here in the Caribbean?
I haven't seen much of them, and I haven't seen the other countries play. But according to what we've seen, I think they're more than just a top 4 team in this tournament. I think they could surprise us.
I think so. The other team to watch out for is the Bahamas. They will play against Dominican Republic after this one.
The Bahamas is led by Nesbitt, if I'm correct.
Yes, they are. I'm looking forward to that one. Danielle dribbling, trying to find some room. Finds Phillips. Small rolls, bad pass. Picked up. Here's Avila, and she scores. We'll get an and one.
As you can see, the coach disagrees with the call, but that was a good call. She was still moving her feet, and she was inside the circle.
Yes, Daniel did not establish herself. Did well to get back, but couldn't establish herself there.
Great idea, though.
And we will get a timeout from Barbados. They want to talk things over before this gets out of control. 12-9 now. Cuba with the lead. We'll be back after this timeout. Keone Wright and Gavin Kentsmill here live in Paramaribo, Suriname for the first of two semifinals today in the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup. This one between Cuba and Barbados. The score here with 5:26 left to play in the first quarter is 12-9. And we've got number 15, Avila, to the free throw line, trying to finish off this and one.
Even though I think these women are playing excellent basketball and fundamental basketball, I cannot wait to see what this gym will look like when the gentlemen play.
Oh, definitely. That's a good reminder. Next week, Gavin and I will be live calling the men's tournament, the 2021 AmeriCup qualifier. Should be lots of action. Hope you guys can join us throughout the Caribbean and all around the world. Cuba retains possession. There's the woman of the hour. It's Amargo. We keep calling her name and she won't miss.
We've talked about the great shooters in this tournament, and we've mentioned Morton and Zapata, both for the Dominican Republic. But one name we've completely slept on is Amargo.
She continues to impress. Galindo comes away with it. She'll finish strong on the left-hand side. Easy does it for Cuba, 18-9. And if Barbados is not careful, this will start to get away from them. Cuba in the full court press. Their coach was about to join the floor. Here's Small. Can't hit that one. Nice rebound by Cepeda. Up to Martinez.
If I analyze the game Cuba is playing right now, they look very similar to what the Dominican Republic is doing.
Very
They're looking
similar.
to push the ball. They're playing full court press and switching back. They're switching their defense once they get back past half court.
They're switching their defense, and the whole time they're communicating. Everyone knows what's going on for Cuba. Very similar to the Dominican Republic.
I cannot wait. I cannot say how impatient I am to see that match.
I'm excited too. I might not sleep tonight. But first, Cuba needs to beat Barbados, and then the Dominican Republic needs to beat the Bahamas. Still lots of time in this one. Only a 7-point lead for Cuba. Here comes Daniel back the other way. I think she's one of my X factors in this game.
And the woman who I'm surprised with that she hasn't started is about to check in Ederly. She is an excellent player, excellent footwork, great composure, and a great leader for this Barbados team.
A strategic, tactical move here by Barbados, not starting Atherley. Let me tell you what, she is an absolute handful. So get ready, folks. You're going to be entertained by her style of basketball. Danielle rounds the corner, and we will get a push. That's why I like Danielle. She's head up. She knows what she's doing. Not too fancy.
Not only that, she always keeps her dribble alive.
Always keeps it alive. Again, she plays at Arkansas Pine Bluff in the United States. Here's Atherley into the game. Not just an injection of pace and skill, but also power. Galindo will have her hands full here. Small, drives to the middle. Nice pass. Unfortunately, not a good shot. Margot tracks it down, up to Colas, who's just checked in. Galindo.
How much credit do you gotta give Phillips? She's playing with a dislocated finger right now.
Yeah, she had that taped last night. Late in the game, she dislocated it. That was a close game with Suriname, tense moments, but Barbados earned the right to be here to play Cuba. Here's Colas, very good backup point guard. Amargo, heat check, no good. Nice rebound by Bakur. So Bakur is, throughout the tournament, has been used mostly as a third string center. She's going to get some early time here. Yesterday against St. Vincent's, she showed a great ability to grab rebounds. She's got very good hands, and she can finish around the basket.
But her coach just told her to grab the ball first, gather herself, and then go up with it. Because as you could see there, she was rushing the shot.
Yes, definitely a sign of inexperience. Compared to St. Vincent, this is a step up here for a player like Bakur. Amargo with the up fake. Galindo to Colas. That'll be a three-pointer. Thought her foot was on the line. Nice shot by Colas. Phillips double team. Nice defense by Cuba. Excuse me, that was Cumberbatch who was double teamed.
And just like that, teams like Cuba and the Dominican Republic start to pull off.
Yeah, this is where it starts to happen. Especially when you have a backup point guard like Colas. Barbados is not as deep as Cuba. Bakur, great pass inside. Avila with the score.
And that's where the similarities between the two teams come, and what makes this thing so interesting. The Dominican Republic has Ramirez, who has an excellent backup point guard.
Very good, one of my
behind
favorites.
Morton. And I just can't wait for this match. I can't say it enough.
Amargo had room, didn't take it. Here's Avila. Back to Amargo. That's no good. She's missed her last two, but Bakur fights for it. Here comes Tony Atherley around the back. Gives to Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch can shoot the ball.
If I gave you an option right now between two sharpshooters in both Zapata and Amargo, who are you going with?
Man, I have to think about this one. I'm gonna go with Amargo, definitely. I'm gonna go with Amargo.
No,
I've seen Zapata be a little bit streaky in this tournament.
I'm going with Zapata in this one, but that's the way she plays behind the defense. She's almost invisible, and all of a sudden, her ball's in the net.
Okay, I'll agree to disagree a little bit. Tornell with the long three, that's no good. Shot selection will be key against this Barbados team. I hope Cuba doesn't think they can just throw it up there all the time, because they will allow Barbados back into the game if they're not careful. Bakur does well to grab it. Lots of wrist action there. Tornell again is off. Are you surprised that Cuba is settling for three-pointers right now? It's only a 14-point lead at a semifinal.
No, right now Barbados is closing down the paint. You have shooters on your team. I'm shooting the ball too if I'm open.
Bakur may have gotten away with a double dribble. Can't get that one in. Avila kept it alive. Unfortunately, it went to Atherley. And there you see the passion of Tony Atherley, one of the heroes of last night's game against Suriname.
And I've seen a lot of people that like basketball or love basketball, but the passion she has for this game, you can see it in every expression she makes. I really like her.
Me too. Like I said yesterday, the only way to describe her really is a winner. The crowd was on her last night, and she absolutely loved it. Cumberbatch to Atherley. Tornell with some decent defense there. Cumberbatch flashes high. Drives, nice take. Ooh, what a good call there by the official. Bakur needed to get vertical on that one, and she couldn't. She leaned in too much, and that'll send Cumberbatch to the line. She's a very good shooter. Hit a couple threes last night. competent from the free throw line. And here's my issue right now. If we inserted the Dominican Republic into this game and they were playing Barbados, I think they're up by a lot more. I think their mentality when they're up is a little bit different.
Oh, that's totally right. I think they get hungrier every time they see the score go further.
For Cuba, a little bit stagnant. We talked about how they're settling for three-point shots. They're open, but I think they can do some damage inside. Bolas thinks about it. Back to Tornell. She drives. I think they need more of that. Nice pass to Bakur. Upset with herself for missing that one. Did well to catch it, though. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. I think that's what Cuba needs to do. Drive against this Barbados team, really make them work for it.
And that's I think the luxury of having a player like Morton in your team. She's such a great leader, and she doesn't start the offense until everyone is set. Whereas Cuba likes to advance the ball and they play from there.
Yes, I'm a big Morton fan, and I also like her backup Ramirez.
Oh, Ramirez is excellent.
She's my pick for 6th man of the tournament.
Here's my problem with Ramirez. I think she has to be more of an outside threat. When it comes down to finding open teammates and being an excellent floor general, you have to take your cap off for her. But when it comes down to shooting the ball, I've seen late shot clock situations where she has not shot the ball. I don't know what that is, if she's afraid to shoot the ball, if it's not in her skill set, but I want to see that more from her.
I think she's just young. I think that tends to be an issue. We don't have the players' ages in front of us, but I think Ramirez represents a player that might be 18, 19, 20 years old.
I think she might be around that age. We might be wrong, but that's something I would like to see from her. And again, we're not comparing players here, but these are two of the better teams, and that's why we have so many comparisons. We've just seen Colas, who was very similar to Ramirez, yes, made a wide open shot, and that's something I want to see from Ramirez as well.
Maybe a part of her game she needs to work on. That's part of playing in a big international tournament like this, seeing what you need to work on. It's not just about what you did well, it's about what you need to improve on. After the first quarter here between Cuba and Barbados, 25-12, we'll be back for second quarter action in a minute.
Starting the second quarter of this game with Cuba being on the
Keone Wright and big Gavin Kentsmill here in Paramaribo, Suriname, getting set to start second quarter action between Cuba and Barbados here in the first of 2 semifinals to decide who will go to the championships to compete for the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup. 25-12 is your score. Ball in the hands of Atherley. Her team is down right now. Barbados in a bit of a hole. There's Atherley, her first shot, that's off.
It's going to be very tough for Atherley to get good shots off against this stacked team, who plays very good defense, and the spacing of her team not being as good.
Yes, it will be tough, but Cuba continues to settle for long shots, and Barbados is not a bad rebounding team. Tower Lord came away with that one and drew the foul. I think the bigger issue for Atherley right now is that when the ball is in her hands, there's not a lot of movement, but she's about to get a lot of help as Shaquila Small has checked in.
I would like to see Daniels on the floor for them too.
Just going to say the same thing. They are the big three for Barbados: Daniel, Atherley, and Small. Daniel currently on the bench. Here's Small looking to be aggressive. I like it. Spin move. No good. Maybe got bumped. Lots of no calls along that baseline, but it is a semifinal. Here's a Margot. Can't leave her open.
I mean, if you leave her open or not, she'll make the shot.
That's true, but that was such a clean look. She probably could have laid down and taken a nap and then shot it after 30 minutes. Barbados needs to get a hand in her face.
Great footwork there.
Tower Lord, good job to keep her pivot foot. Atherley tries that spin move, picked off by Tornell. She's all alone, and will finish.
That's what you do not want to see from your players. Players walking back.
No, and this is one of the issues, and we're going to start to see this as the game progresses. Will Barbados have a deep enough bench to contend with what Cuba has going on? Here's Martinez. She gets on the floor. I don't agree with that call at all. I think Martinez took her legs out from her from behind.
That's called being smart. That's called experience. She used her experience against a clearly younger player.
Unfortunately, they will call the foul on Phillips, who was maybe the victim of that incident there on the floor. So Tornell will inbound. Into the game for Cuba as well is Thompson, another one of their very young third string, maybe even fourth string centers. She's a good shot blocker. She's good at blocking shots and then also keeping the ball in bounds, which is a skill that a lot of shot blockers don't have. Atherley finds Small, guarded by Thompson. She should go right around her. Nobody cuts. Tower Lord wasn't there. Here's Tornell for Cuba. Can't finish. We'll get a foul against Tornell. And any chance Tornell gets to put her hands in the cookie jar, she will try. And a couple times so far in this game, she's come away with double chocolate chip, but there she gets caught by her mom. It will be a foul. Atherley guarded by Tornell. Picks up her dribble in a dangerous spot. Fortunately finds Phillips, and we will get an offensive foul.
I think it's the same player that has set an illegal screen twice.
Yep. You've got to be disciplined.
And believe me, I've been on that side setting an illegal screen. It gets your coach absolutely pissed off.
Well, setting illegal screens is a lot like speeding in your car. I don't think anyone really drives the speed limit. I don't think anyone really sets legal screens. When I used to play, I loved the bump players, which is also why I didn't get to play a lot, but I felt good. Here's Atherley, looks up for Thorne. She gathers that in, but can't finish. Tower Lord, back to Thorne. Or back to Lord, excuse me. That was Wood to Lord.
Like you said, Cuba's really settling for outside shots. I don't know if the Dominican Republic would have done that. The Dominican Republic had a bad quarter yesterday, and they were still up big.
That's true. And that's what Atherley is out there for. Tony Atherley, an injection of pace and power. She will head to the free throw line. .15 lead now. This free throw can cut it to 14.
She is excellent from the free throw line.
Very good, sweet stroke. 29-15 is the score, 6:50 left to play in the first half. Cuba up over Barbados here in this semifinal. Nice move along the baseline by Amargo, but she can't connect. Tornell tracks it down. Martinez up top, used the screen by Thompson. Back to Tornell. Martinez lines one up. That's no good. Thompson will knock it out of bounds. And the combination of Wood and Lord for Barbados doing a good job down low, putting bodies on bodies. They've had some decent passages of play on offense as well, but haven't really been able to connect or score. This is where you want to get Small the ball. She'll work on Avila. Gets position. Good job by Avila. Small hits the deck, no call. Atherley pops for three. That's overshot. Here's Small. Good job. Lots of contact. No call. Gavin, she can't buy a call right now from these officials as Avila goes the other way and scores for Cuba. I thought she definitely got hit there.
She did, but you have to keep playing.
Spin move, and this time she gets it. Avila grabs some wrist there. Small will head to the line. Colas will check in. For Martinez, Colas will be the primary ball handler for Cuba. 2 shots coming for Shaquila Small. She'll hit the first one, 31-16. Avila tracks it down, gets to Colas. She'll set things up. Barbados in the zone. Thompson comes up to set a screen. Tornell. Nice shot by Amargo. She continues to play well. When you leave her that open, she doesn't miss. Number 21, Booley, getting set to check in the game for Cuba. Small 3-pointer, no good. We'll get a loose ball foul. That'll be on Avila. Booley will replace her now. Barbados with an opportunity to run a set out of bounds play. And Daniel, the point guard, will come back in for Barbados. She will replace Atherley, so we have still yet to see the big 3 for Barbados on the floor. Atherley, Danielle, and Small. At the free throw line, Thorne. She hits the first. 5:12 left to play here in the first half. A little bit of a jump shot free throw, but it works. She hits 2.
A quick question I want you to think about. Cuba or the Dominican Republic?
I'm going with, man. Half of me wants to say the Dominican Republic. The other half wants to say Cuba. Colas for 3, but I'm going to go with Dominican Republic. I think that their motor, their engine, is just a little bit more well-primed than Cuba. And that's saying a lot because Cuba is one of the best teams in the world right now.
For once, we can agree on something.
For once, we can agree. It took me a minute, though, and I might change my mind, so be careful. Colas to push, nice pass.
She is so fast. Have you even counted how fast she was up court?
That was very fast. 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. She found Booley, who did well to score. And here's the difference right now between Cuba and Barbados. Barbados has to get things in their set offense, and their offensive execution, the way they set screens and move away from the ball, just isn't that clean. For Cuba, they can rely on transition baskets, and their half-court offense is squeaky clean. Something we talked about yesterday, Gavin, was that to be a role player doesn't just mean you come off the bench. To be a role player, it means that you have a role and you understand it. And that's what separates the teams, I think, in this tournament. Teams like Cuba and Dominican Republic, you don't see players catching the ball 3 feet behind the three-point line if they're not three-point threats or they're not primary ball handlers or perimeter players. They know their roles, and in knowing their roles, they know where to be.
And that's one of the problems I had with the home team Suriname.
Are you ready to talk about that loss? That was a tough one to St. Vincent that we just saw.
Yes, that was one of the things. I have seen non-shooters and people that are not able to make shots from the perimeter stand on the three-point line. You are no threat whatsoever to whatever defense they're playing. And I think that's why it was so tough for Suriname to penetrate or make shots, because you have non-shooters standing outside. Means your shooters cannot shoot because the spacing is bad, and they can't penetrate the paint.
I couldn't agree with you more. Suriname, the host nation here, has a lot to work on.
Colas has brought the ball over in 2 seconds. I really like the pace Colas brings to this team.
She's all business all the time. Galindo, spin move. The official says that'll be on the floor. Out of bounds for Cuba. Another opportunity to execute an out of bounds play.
Everything Galindo does looks so simple, but these things are fine work that's done by her. Look at her footwork every time she catches the ball. This is one of the players I would look at if I'm a starter and I want to be good.
Definitely, she's a baller. Here's a Margot, and she cannot miss today. Yamara Amargo, she will be a key for this team tomorrow if they advance to the championship. Nice crossover by Small, back to Danielle. Little two-man game. Danielle got a clean look at it, couldn't finish. Here's Colas back the other way. What a pass to Galindo!
Great pass,
and
that's a great pass.
Man, I just got goosebumps. Did you see that, Gavin?
That's a great pass.
That wasn't just threading the needle. And Small fires back with a three-pointer of her own. You have to give Barbados credit because most other teams in this tournament, the score would be so lopsided right now. We'd be struggling for things to think about. But instead, it's only 17 points. I thought at this point it might be something like 40, but Amargo does well to shoot that three and make it. She's hot right now. Hit the last two for Cuba. Can Barbados come back? That's the other thing. When Cuba puts you in a hole, they don't give you a shovel. You've got to climb your way out of that thing. And in order to do that, Barbados needs to get stops.
So here are the interesting matchups for me. I think Galindo against Morton will be an interesting matchup to see. They both push the ball. They're both very skilled, very poised. I want to see
Do you think those two will match up against each other, though? Because Galindo is more of a perimeter slasher. She's not a point guard, per se.
The thing is, Morton doesn't really play point guard. She plays point guard for... I think Ramirez plays point guard for the majority of Puerto Dominican Republic basketball.
Okay.
So I'd like to see Amargo against Zapata. Now another interesting matchup.
That'll be a good one. I think Zapata's really going to be tested defensively in that matchup.
Zapata plays great defense, because if you ask me.
I have a feeling that if Amargo has somebody up in her face, she's big enough, long enough, quick enough, and a sure enough ball handler to get around somebody like Zapata.
I think we underestimate what Zapata means for the defense of the Dominican Republic. She's very active. She always has her hands active. I really like the way she plays defense. I think Martinez will be kind of a matchup nightmare tomorrow for Thompson and the other big Cuba has.
Yeah, that's the big difference in my mind between Cuba and the Dominican Republic, is that the Dominican Republic can stretch the floor, and their bigs, even their traditional bigs like Reynoso.
Reynoso is a name we forget to mention, but she is such a big
They put the ball on the floor
factor.
once, and they're to the basket. I don't see that from Cuba. They like to keep their post players in the post, which is fine, but they're not as dynamic.
And let's not forget that Martinez is able to make outside shots.
That's true. Martinez can. Here's Cuba. Galindo battling. We'll get a foul.
Of course, we'll have Colas against Ramirez.
That's what I'm looking for. That's a battle in its own. I think whoever wins that battle, I will officially call Mighty Mouse. I've been calling Ramirez Mighty Mouse. She's got the title right now, but we'll see what happens tomorrow when she squares up against Colas. A battle of backup point guards.
Who have we forgotten on the Dominican squad?
There's so many players, such a deep bench. Yeah, we talked about Martinez.
I really think, if you can think back, the finals the Cavaliers won, Tristan Thompson was the X factor, if you ask me. We knew LeBron was going to be great. We knew Kyrie was going to do his thing. But it was Tristan Thompson that was the X factor the year Cleveland won. And I think it'll be the same thing with Martinez tomorrow. I think she'll be an absolute matchup nightmare for Cuba. And
she's a different kind of big. I would say that, you know, she's like a stretch four. She even plays the three.
She's exactly a stretch four. Someone that is able to make plays from the 4 position. It'll be interesting to see what Cuba does with her.
There's this other thing about Cuba, too, where I don't know that we've seen the full complement of what they're able to do in this tournament. There's something about their coach. He's a very mysterious man, a very mystical man, and I've talked to him a little bit, and he was the only coach at the beginning of this tournament who said, you know what, I'm in an evaluation phase. I'm not sure what my rotation's going to be. I'm still feeling players out. Obviously, he has a better idea about his rotation right now, but I don't know that we've seen the full complement of what Cuba can do. I think they can actually do a lot more. And in a championship game, I don't know, watch out. We might be surprised. It might not be so black and white.
No, I'm saying it'll be a great matchup. Look what Cuba does. Every time they run, the lanes are widespread. They're looking to get layups out of their fast break, whereas in the Dominican Republic is looking to shoot the ball.
Very true. 40 seconds left to play. Cuba in the lead now, 46-22. Gets it up to Amargo. Nice pass inside to Bully. That's what she does. She hangs out by the hoop, catches and scores.
And this is one of the differences. The Dominican Republic also runs, but as you can see, 4 players of Cuba were already ahead of the whole Barbados squad.
They know their lane.
Exactly, whereas against the Dominican Republic mostly has their big running.
That's true. Both teams very dynamic. I think Dominican Republic just a little bit more dynamic. Here's Galindo, 5 seconds left to play in the first half. Amargo, that's her sweet spot, can't hit, small tracks it down. And we will go to halftime with the score, 48-24. Cuba in control. Keone Wright and Gavin Kentsville will be back after halftime.
And the score for Barbados is 24. It's halftime.
Keone Wright and Gavin Kentsmill back, ready to start the second half of our first semifinal of the day here at the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup between Cuba and Barbados. Right now, Cuba well in control of this one, as we expected, 48-24. But Barbados, Gavin, they've done some positive things. They have, this is superior competition for them. Nice shot there by Amargo. She continues to be on fire. I think Barbados has done a good job. I thought this was going to be like an 80-15 score. Barbados, I don't know if they can come back, but they can still be competitive in this one.
I've seen from Smalls up until now what I wanted to see from her.
Definitely a bit of a rebound game. She didn't play bad yesterday. We just thought she could have played better. And here she's shutting us up for sure. Cuba ball out of bounds. Colas will get the start for the second half. She finds Galindo. Small doesn't cut off the baseline. Out to Amargo. Sweet stroke. That's what she does.
Can she miss?
That's why they pay her the big bucks. Starting the second half also is Delane. We still have not seen the big three of Small, Atherley, and Daniel. No, she is still on the bench. So Barbados choosing to rest one of their big three players at all times. If I'm Barbados, maybe you're looking ahead to the game tomorrow, I get it. But if I'm the Barbados coach, I'm having my best players out there in this game, and I'm telling them to go for it, go for broke.
I'm telling them to go all out, and we will live with the result. But I'm not sparing anything. I'm not waking up tomorrow and wondering what could have been if I played hard.
No.
Or played everyone.
What is at stake here is a chance to play in the championship game tomorrow. The loser plays in the bronze medal match. Here's Amargo again. 3 for 3 in this half. She is on fire. Barbados just can't find her. They can't put a body on her. No hands up either.
I think what their coach might think is that this game is far to reach, and why not go for the third seed?
That's true. That's a very good point. The top 3 teams from this tournament advance to the Centro Basket Tournament to be held in Puerto Rico in late August. Avila out in front and scores.
And this is what I was just talking about. They're going from a full court press to a 2-3 zone.
They're shapeshifters, transformers. Their defenses change all the time, but everyone's on the same page. Long three by Small, showing her range. She's hit a couple three-pointers. Tornell getting set to check into the game for Cuba. She's a hound on defense. Wide open is Avila again. She can't hit that one. Gets her own rebound. Trying to draw a foul, and she does. She'll go to the free throw line. The foul there will be on Tower Lord, my favorite name in the tournament. And you've got to give the undersized bigs for Barbados a lot of credit. They've battled inside against some very tall and physical players. They've done a good job on the defensive boards. Maybe not the best example there, but I give them credit. They're severely undersized. They continue to battle in this one, down 57-27.
And it's something Dion and I have discussed in the previous match. Dion was talking about the height advantage the other team had over the hosting country, Suriname. Barbados is showing right now that you can be undersized but still work hard and box out. And that's the point I was trying to make with the Surinamese team.
That's what it's all about. Leave it on the floor. There's Wood with a rebound. Atherley looks up. And we'll get a foul. That'll be on Cepeda. She sat for most of the first half. She's one of their starters. Inbound now is Ashby. She's been sparingly used here in this game. Atherby, guarded by Colas. Spin move, that's her trademark move. Gets it to Wood, does a good job to gather it in. Got a clean look, but can't finish. Cuba back the other way. It's Galindo, and she scores. So quick, Gavin.
They go up and down the court really fast.
So Cuba now really starting to shift gears with a 33-point lead, a steal by Galindo. Strong take by Avila, and she'll go to the free throw line. And what I love about this Cuban coach is that most coaches would say, hey, that was a great play. We're going to the free throw line. Instead, he barks orders at his players. He barks orders at Avila that she maybe could have finished that one.
And that's what you want. You always you're never you don't want to be satisfied. You always want to strive for perfection and greatness. And I think that's what he's doing with this team.
When you're a team like Cuba, who is not just looking to win the Caribbean Cup, but looking to win any cup they play in, to include the World Championships, to qualify for the Olympics, that's where their minds are at. Every aspect of the game, from how you play individual defense to team defense, how you catch the ball, how you square up, they think about all of those things. I think that's another point of separation amongst these smaller nations, where they're more concerned with, okay, how do we run our offense? We have a good player, here's what you're good at. Every player on this Cuban team is like a well-oiled machine.
Not only that, they're like piranhas on defense too.
They are. Colas finds Galindo. There's Thompson. Good job to catch it inside. Can't hit that shot. Had good position, couldn't finish. Atherley thought about stepping into it. Instead, she gives to Phillips. She draws the foul. The loser of this game will play in the bronze medal match tomorrow. We still have another semifinal in front of us, ahead of us. That will be between the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic. So stay tuned for that one. You'll have an opportunity to see a really good Dominican Republic team against a scrappy, hard-nosed Bahamas team. Should be a good one. Tornell comes away with yet another steal. That's what she does. Strong take. And a foul on Daniel from behind. That'll send Tornell to the free throw line.
And this is not the first time their coach has had a technical foul. I think you kill your team when you do that. There's no need for a technical foul.
I agree with you. Sometimes, in my experience, technical fouls from coaches are usually an ego thing. And I think there's this idea out there that the referees are going to respect you more if you're a coach and you draw a technical. They're going to be on your side, that you're maybe pushing the refs into a corner and they're going to be on your side somehow. I don't buy that at all. I don't think so. I think all that you've done is send a good free throw shooter to the free throw line to get 2 free points.
And extend the lead.
Martinez back into the game, replaces Tornell. She did very well on defense, stepping up to shoot these free throws for Cuba. Is Booley. She misses that one. Excuse me, Cepeda. Colas to inbound to Martinez. Barbados in a 2-3 zone. Cuba's gonna make them work. Good job there by Thompson to duck in. Cuba extends their lead, 66-27, 5:40 left to play in the third quarter. Nice steal. Nice take by Galindo.
This is like a party. Cuba's having fun out there. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. No resistance whatsoever.
Barbados needs to dig deep here, otherwise this thing is going to turn into a road to 100 points. Countdown to 100 especially. They've got 68 right now. Barbados only 27. I thought they'd come out in the second half a little bit better, but I think Cuba's worn them down physically as well as psychologically. Colas wide open. She can hit that. Nice rebound by Cepeda.
How does that even happen?
No bodies on her whatsoever. A breakdown in defensive pressure by Barbados. Here's Daniel. She's been quiet. Small open three-pointer. No good. Galindo off to the races. They're putting their foot down on that gas pedal. Galindo, nice hesitation. Colas does well to reel it in. Booley wide open, and that's what she does. showing the range for these Cuban bigs. Barbados right now with no answers. And you better believe, if that ball comes off the rim into Cuban hands, they're off to the races. Small thought she got hit. Got to go up a little bit stronger. Here she goes again. This time she draws it and she'll head to the line.
That's being disciplined there by a big. If someone attacks you, you keep your hand up. You don't drop your hands.
You've got to be vertical. If you come down, especially in a violent way, or give the referee an excuse to blow his whistle, he will.
The Cuban coach is really pleased with Galindo's game.
Very pleased. She is a full court threat. Once she gets that rebound, she's off to the races, and she has green lights to do so. That's what happens when a coach trusts you. It's not just a confidence thing. It's a, hey, I can do what I want.
And I think she has earned that trust. I think she has shown her coach what she's made of and that she's a good player.
She's a very good player. If we had to pick two players from Cuba, let's go with one first. If we had to pick one player to make an all-tournament team, who would it be?
Galindo.
Definitely. Gilbert seeing her first action of the game. She can shoot the ball for Cuba. Great job working along the baseline. Fires and hits on cue. Number 22, Gilbert for Cuba.
If you had to make an all-tournament team, who would be in that team?
The point guard for the Bahamas, definitely, would be my first selection. I don't have her name in front of me. Maybe I do. Morton for the Dominican Republic. We'll see. We might get a little guard heavy, though, if we selected an all-tournament team. So let's think about positions. I'll definitely go with the point guard for the Bahamas. Martinez scores off a nice pass from Colas. If we had to go with a two guard, I'll take your girl Galindo. Martinez out in front again. She's got trailers around the back pass. Almost. That was almost a highlight reel pass.
I think that it doesn't matter which team you would put together, you would not beat the team I've just made. I have Morton at the one.
Are you challenging me, Gavin?
Listen to my all-star team.
Okay, here we go.
I have Morton at the one.
Okay, Morton from Dominican Republic.
I have Zapata at the two.
Zapata, the two guard from the Dominican Republic.
I have Galindo playing the three.
Galindo from Cuba.
I have Smalls playing the four, or Martinez playing the four, the stretch four.
Okay, another player from Dominican Republic.
And I have Smalls playing at the five.
And Small, one of the players here from Barbados. That's an interesting team. I still like the point guard from the Bahamas, though. She's like a mini Iverson. A lot of heart. I don't know, I don't know how they're going to do against the Dominican Republic, but one thing is for sure. As a team, I'm not sure, but I think she's going to have a great performance against elite-level competition here in the Caribbean.
I do, but when I'm talking about a team, a stacked team, and people that are really about the team's success, not saying that Nesbitt isn't, because we've seen that she does everything in her power for her team to win, but I want these kind of players because I love the way they're passing the ball, whereas in both Iverson and Nesbitt are really looking to score the ball, and I want players that can score and pass the ball.
That's very true, and there's only really two teams in this tournament that have players who are dynamic enough to do that, and that's Cuba and the Dominican Republic. I like your inclusion, though, of Small on that lineup. I didn't really think of her as a center, but she certainly could. She's very tall. We'll get a foul there. McCour,
but once again, I don't think you're beating this team.
I'll figure something out, buddy. Give me a minute. I still like Valerie Nesbitt, the point guard from the Bahamas, the name that escaped me a few minutes ago.
I love her. I absolutely love her. But I would not put her in my team for the reasons I just gave you. Just like I absolutely love Westbrook, but I would not take him over a Stephen Curry, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. At the free throw line now, Cumberbatch. She's a great shooter. Hasn't had much of an opportunity to display her three-point prowess in this one. Last night she did against Suriname. Very impressive. One of the reasons why Barbados pulled away and won that game. McCord with a nice rebound. Cuban coach saying push. Gives it to Thompson. Stutter step to Gilbert. Got a good look, but couldn't knock it down. Here's Martinez. No look pass to Gilbert. Swing it to Perez, who's just checked in. Cumberbatch fouls her. 76-29, 2:10 left to play in the third quarter. It looks like we will see Cuba in the championship game tomorrow here for the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup. I think this is a mountain too tall to climb right now for Barbados. The best they can do is leave it all on the court, but the top three teams advance. So if you're Barbados, do you go into the mode of, all right, we're going to take our best players out. I don't care how much we lose by. We're not going to make up this deficit. We're playing for that third place tomorrow. I want everyone fresh.
I think you do.
I think so too. I'm surprised to see some of the better players for Barbados on the floor right now. If I were the coach for Barbados, I'm clearing that bench, giving some other people an opportunity, and then also starting to prepare for tomorrow's game, which will either be between the Dominican Republic or Cuba. There's Perez, fresh legs off the bench, and she scores. Daniel, the starting point guard, remains in the game. Cumberbatch gives over to Phillips. Back to Cumberbatch, long three, that's good. We just talked about her. 80-32, 1:30 left to play. Perez to Gilbert. Finds Bakur, nice duck in by Booley. But she can't handle the pass. They tried to go big to big, but Barbados broke it up. Daniel with it, working against this Cuban zone. Bad pass, bad angle. Cuba will pick that off all day. Booley is running. Nice pass there by Martinez. She's got a smile on her face.
That's the unselfishness I like about certain players.
I think this thing's going to get a little bit fancy. 40 seconds left to play in the third. It's nice to see this Cuban team have fun because I have a feeling that their coach is maybe a bit of a traditionalist. He doesn't like around the back passes. He doesn't like jump passes. He wants to see solid execution. And like we've talked about all tournament, his teams have been up by a lot, just like this, 50 points. Sometimes you can't tell. This is maybe the happiest I've seen him, but I've seen his teams up by 40, and it looks he's acting like they're down by 20.
And that's what a great coach does. Like I've said before, you are never satisfied with your team because they can always do better. With that being said, you do give credit to the improvement they made.
Yes.
But you want them to do even better, especially knowing that you have a stacked team in the Dominican Republic waiting for you that's not scared of you and actually wants to play you. You want your team to be A1.
Exactly. No let up for this Cuba team. They're going to continue to try to execute. Cuba, the number 14 team in the world right now. Martinez, nice shot. Gilbert flies in for the rebound. Barbados ball. What's so interesting about these games, especially a game like this, is that you've got Cuba in the minds of the Cuban players. These are players who are thinking about, hey, I'm trying to make the Olympic team. I'm trying to make the next Olympic team. For Barbados, their mindset is completely different. It's really just about this. I don't think they have those Olympic aspirations. You know, maybe they have aspirations to play in the United States, and I think some of them surely could. Small is a great example. Daniel's a great example. But it's a different kind of mindset when you come from a country that has a long tradition, a long basketball tradition in the Olympics and the World Championships. Martinez, nice pass to Gilbert. Fundamental basketball. Drew the defender and then made the bounce pass.
I totally get what you're saying there, but at the same time, I look at myself. My country is not really a sportsman's country if you really think about it. But it's something you have within yourself. I'm really striving to be great, and I'm trying really hard to make the best out of it, and hopefully one day bring a Surinamese team to the Olympics.
Do you think that Suriname on the men's side, and this is a good conversation to have because we'll be calling the games next week for the 2021 AmeriCup qualifier, which is a men's tournament. Do you think the Surinamese men are on the cusp of moving up in the FIBA rankings? Do you think they're on the cusp of really competing internationally beyond just the Caribbean?
I've seen them play in exhibition games, and I was impressed by what I've seen. Of course, they have the home court advantage too. We've seen Sergio Darandami bring incredible leadership to this team, so I wonder what it would look like to see them play again after they were 5th last year in this. And I should be fit and play and able to play next year. I really wanted to. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But I'll be looking forward to play next year.
I think that'll be a really big boost for the Surinamese men's team to have you back in the red and white.
Of this game, with Cuba still having the lead with 84 points and 34 for Barbados.
So fourth quarter action starting now. Cuba mostly with a bench team in. They've gone deep into their bench. Thompson flashes high, takes it. She gets hit, won't go. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Colas, Perez, Gilbert, Thompson, and Booley in the game. Thompson is a promising young player, used sparingly throughout the tournament. Now, Gavin, you said you're going back to school in July, so that means you'll be coming back to Suriname in August so that we can go to Puerto Rico, or are you going to meet me in Puerto Rico in August?
I might meet you in Puerto
Okay.
Rico, and since you've lost that bet, I might ask you to pay for my ticket too.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. For those of you that don't know, Gavin and I are petitioning FIBA to be announcers or broadcasters at the Centro Basket Tournament, which the top 3 teams from this tournament will go to. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't even know if FIBA really likes us that much. I mean, but then again, what's not to like about us? You know, we're both extremely handsome. I've given you some fashion tips since we first started working together. I think we work well off each other. But that's what I get. I mean, you're so focused on sports right now, and I'm like, I think I have at least 100 followers on Instagram. So my career as an Instagram model is really picking up. But anyways, we're trying to get to Puerto Rico. So if anyone out there wants to leave a comment to let us know how maybe we can raise money to get to Puerto Rico for the Central Basket Tournament, let us know.
No. Don't say we and that one. You lost the bet, so raising money is all on you.
We need a little play money. You know, we can't just go there with nothing. I was thinking about a calendar, but I don't have my 2-piece body right now. Maybe a swimsuit calendar? What do you think?
I think that'll work fine.
Okay. Back to basketball, 88-34. Cuba in the lead. Atherley into the game for Barbados. She doesn't care how much her team is down by. She's going to keep fighting, that's for sure. And to Cuba's credit, they sort of silenced Atherley tonight.
They did. I don't even think she has scored tonight. I think she had an and-one play.
Yeah,
that was it.
She had an and-one, and that was it. Perez swings to Gilbert. Thompson flashes, gets a good look at it, can't connect. Here comes Atherley. We were just talking about her. It's a 2-on-2, tries to force it to Cumberbatch, and that's picked off by Colas. And quickly back the other way is Perez, stutter step move. Finds Gilbert along the sideline, and the official on the baseline says we'll get a foul. Nice little hesitation dribble there from Perez. Little hezzy. A difference, too, but for Cuba. Nice flash there by Bully as she scores. That's how she operates, right in the post, right near the basket. I think Cuba, and this might not mean anything for the game tomorrow, but I think Cuba has a little bit more flair than the Dominican Republic. They're prone to get a little bit more fancy with it when the time is right, which, like I said, really doesn't mean a lot. But as a fan, I think when these games open up, they have a little bit more flair, whereas the Dominican Republic maybe is business all the time. So entertaining basketball. Entertaining basketball from Cuba, up now 90-34 with 8 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Unless LeBron James comes in the building and puts on a Barbados jersey, I'm pretty sure Cuba is on their way to the championship game tomorrow. Who they will play, though, will be decided in the next game.
I don't see how LeBron can get you 70 points in
It's King James. He can do whatever he wants. If he can carry the Cavs this year, he can surely carry the Dominican Republic.
I'm not sure about
LeBron James and Adderley together, deadly. Absolutely deadly.
All right, if you say so. And just remember, I'm the biggest LeBron fan.
I can't be a LeBron fan. Every 3 years you have to go buy new clothes. I can't do that.
Oh, no. I give credit where credit is due, and LeBron is greatness.
So where's he going next year? Nice shot there by Cumberbatch.
I just hope to see him in a position where he can really compete for a championship.
I want to see him mess with everyone's mind and go to the Raptors.
No.
That's what I want to see.
No.
I want to see him go north. Big shout out to all my friends in Toronto, the Six. (91-36), 7:09 left to play here in the fourth quarter. The Barbados coach rotating through his players, probably wise. They're going to play for third place tomorrow and a chance to move on to the Centro Basket Tournament in Puerto Rico in August. Adderley, long three-pointer. Silky smooth, that's what she does. Perez to Gilbert, Thompson, nice up fake. Better defense by Barbados. Cuba will retain possession. Into the game now for Barbados is Anika Wood. Tony Adderley will take a seat. She played hard. Cuba maybe took her out of her game. She came off the bench tonight. I expect her to have a really big game tomorrow, though. Daniel still running the point. Cuba in a zone. They'll swing it around the horn. Just trying to get points on the board, trying to leave it all on the floor. They've got younger players out there trying to make the most of this opportunity. Cuba will not let down. Nice take by Thorne. Up and in. She scooped that one in. Good use of the left hand on the left side. Colas skip past to Perez. Nice pass to Bully. Bully to Perez. Colas gets a clean look at it. Two-pointer is no good. Here comes Daniel off to the races. Can she make it two in a row? No. Colas says no, but then loses the ball. A reminder, after this one, we've got the second semifinal between the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. similar to this game. I think that one can be competitive maybe for a quarter. The Bahamas is really on their game and really aggressive, which they can be, maybe two. But with teams like Cuba and the Dominican Republic, once they start to pull away, they just leave you in the rearview mirror. They don't even wave at you. Gilbert steps into it, nice fake. Can't hit. Phillips with it for Barbados. Long two is no good. Rebound by Booley. Finds Perez. Gilbert's open. That's her sweet spot, but they go to Colas instead. Back to Perez. Lots of gaps in that defense. Good job by Perez to score. Nice ball movement. Tornell and Bakur at the scorers table. They will check in for Cuba. 93-41, 4:45 left to play in the fourth quarter. A good block there by Gilbert. She's a wiry player, very good on defense. Here she is on offense. Nice up fake. I like her patience. She's got good patience, and she's enough of a threat from outside that players come up to greet her. She just gives them an up fake and goes around. Avila will also check in for Cuba. Daniel up top, swings it around the horn. No interior post presence right now for Barbados, barely any throughout the game. Lost out of bounds, Cuba ball. So Bakur, Tornell, and Avila check into the game. They will replace Gilbert, Thompson, and Booley. Colas remains at the point guard. No, excuse me. Colas will come out. Perez will run the point guard. We've got a timeout with 4:06 left to play, 95-41. Keone Wright and Gavin Kensmilk calling this game. The first semifinal of the day. Cuba well in command and will be headed to the gold medal match tomorrow for an opponent yet to be determined. We'll be back after this timeout.
Chill, man, I got people.
Here we go. Back underway, fourth quarter action here in the first semifinal of the day between Cuba and Barbados. Strong take by Avila along the baseline. Nice aggressive take. Barbados with no answer for a player of her size and athletic ability. Avila at the free throw line. No one heard. 96-41, 3:51 left to play. Cuba has more than booked their ticket into the championship game tomorrow for the 2018 FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup. If we see Barbados and the Bahamas in tomorrow's third place match or bronze medal match, who are you taking? I'm going to stick with who I had from the beginning. As much as I like Nesbitt, the point guard for the Bahamas, I'm still going to stick with Barbados.
I think Nesbitt will be able to pull that one off.
You think so?
Yes.
I think the combination of Small, Daniel, and Adderley is just going to be too much. And coming off this game, particularly getting a little bit of rest, I don't think they're going to be too happy about losing today, and I think they're going to respond in a very positive way. The big three for Barbados, I think, will be too much for the Bahamas. If that's our bronze medal match, we still have another semifinal ahead of us. That is between the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas, so stay tuned for that. $99-41 now after the free throw from Tornell. Gavin, let's make another bet. I bet they make 100 points. I bet Cuba gets to 100. Now, if I win,
if I win, I don't even want to listen to the bet. No.
If I win, you will pay for the apartment or the condo. The condo
I'm
we're
not
going to get
even
in
listening
Puerto
to
Rico.
you. Great pushing the ball there.
There we go. 101. I have officially won that bet.
There was
I have a lot of
no
respect
deal
for you,
made.
Gavin. I have a lot of respect for you, Gavin, for taking that bet on such short notice. You're a wild man. Don't let anyone tell you you're not. You're brave. Unfortunately, I'm just a little more wise. Here's Cuba back the other way. Perez. Nice bounce pass to Tornell. Back to Avila. Great pass to Perez. Up fakes all over the place. Cuba still playing with so much energy. Blocked by Bakur. Avila. Vamonos gives up to Gilbert. That's blocked out of bounds.
It's still in bounds.
By Thorne, excuse me, still in bounds. What a block by Thorne.
You could tell Daniels is really tired.
Yeah. Again, this is a tournament. There have been no breaks. This is the fourth game in 4 days for each team. Cuba, perfect throughout the tournament. They are now 4-0. Barbados overall will drop to 2-2.
As you can hear the coach tell his players, I want you guys to concentrate until all the 40 minutes are over.
That's true. That's why they're so good. Martinez looks up. Inside of Bakur, no good.
The
Thorne
coach
continues to play
getting
well. She had the
frustrated
block
there.
and now the rebound.
The coach getting frustrated with his big missing easy baskets, close baskets.
He won't let up on his players. He expects near perfection. Perez has Bakur running. Nice little pass. Can't finish. Bakur with her own rebound. Power dribble, and she draws the foul. And the Cuban coach will say, you need to hit the first one.
Timeout for Barbados.
Timeout for Barbados. When we come back to action, Avila will be at the free throw line. Avila misses the first out of the timeout. 103-41, 122 left to play in the fourth quarter. Cuba has not let off the gas. 104-41. Daniel still running the point. Do you think this will affect Barbados? I mean, it's not just like they lost this game. This is a big-time loss. This is a 50-point loss. 60 points, excuse me.
More than 60.
Well, I was just giving you a range. I can do math. But, like, you know, 63. Thank you, Gavin. What did you study at Iona? Are you going to be an accountant?
No.
You should be.
I think they kind of knew they would lose this game big. I think they should be focused on the goal that's reachable. Not saying that they can't win against big teams. I'm not saying that, but you're focusing on the realistic goals, and I don't think they should be affected by this game at all.
I hope not, because in many ways they are still in this thing. They're playing for third place tomorrow, but the top 3 teams will move on to the Central Basket Championship, which will be held in Puerto Rico in August. Still, though, if you're a true competitor, losing by this much, it's going to affect you a little bit. You're not going to maybe get the best sleep tonight.
No, of course not, and I think you need that to get smacked sometimes. Like I've said, this tournament is good for everyone because Cuba and the Dominican Republic get the chance to execute and practice what they really want to do in games, whereas the other teams can see how far they are separated from the good teams that have big plans such as the Olympics and World Championships. So everyone benefits from tournaments like this.
Definitely, you know, and the brand of basketball here in the Caribbean is so competitive, and I don't think the rest of the world really recognizes that, but these players are really good. A lot of them have the ability to play at the collegiate level in the United States, some of them professionally in Europe, some of them are already doing both or have done both. So anyone who doubts this region and their basketball prowess is completely wrong. I've been very impressed over the past 4 days. And as you know, Gavin, I'm very difficult to impress.
You are.
Martinez tracks it down, backcourt violation. So a little bit of complacency here by Cuba with 48 seconds left to play. Up by 63 now. .40 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter. Gilbert to Martinez. Martinez doesn't even look tired. She's played almost the entire game at point guard, and she's bouncing all over the floor like it's the start of the first quarter. Her energy is contagious.
And I think that's because she has been in tournaments like this before. I think she took care of her body. I think she slept well, and those are all factors people often forget about.
Avila away with it. Cuba will not let up. Nice little no-look pass. Perez can't get it off. And after 4 quarters of play, 106-41 is your score. Cuba will advance to the championship match tomorrow. Barbados will play in the bronze medal match. We still have another semifinal, so stay tuned. I'm Keone Wright for Gavin Kentsmill, the future accountant. We'll see you tomorrow for both games. I will continue to call the next one between the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic. Stay tuned.